What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. My name's Zox Soldier, and today we're going to be reacting to Legend by 21 Pilots, the second to last track off their Smithereens album. It's been a couple weeks since I've reacted to the TOP, but I've had some other little projects going on and whatnot, so I'm super excited to jump back in and hopefully finish this album out very soon. So right now, guys, we got Legend, 21 Pilots. Let's get it. Damn. So yeah, I mean, I think this must be about his grandfather, because I believe his grandfather was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, at that point, and there's a lot of other parts to this that definitely I support that. I think too. You're a legend in my own mind. My middle name, my goodbye. I don't know Tyler's middle name, and if he is named after, his middle name is named after his grandfather. That would make sense because I feel like you do that quite a bit. Like that's a fairly common thing, right? But I mean, it just makes sense. You were one of those classic ones. I wish she knew you. I don't know if he's talking about. I gotta think about the time periods now, because I would guess he's talking about Jenna, but I don't know if Rosie was on the way or not at this point. I don't believe so. So I would think this was definitely more about his wife, Jenna. With that line specifically. But yeah, man, I mean, by far, like the toughest part of the song so far is the verse, right? You were here when I wrote this, but the masters and mixes will take too long to finish to show you, right? I mean, that right there, that first line to that verse, well, first couple lines to that verse is so heavy, right? I mean, like, so he wrote this song, right, to show his grandpa probably after he got sick, but he wasn't able to show it to him, right? And then he goes on to explain that he didn't visit because he didn't know how to deal with the pain that comes with Alzheimer's, right? And that consequently is his grandfather maybe not recognizing him, not remembering his name, maybe not even just Tyler, but others among the family too, right? So someone you really someone you really cared deeply for, someone you really loved, when they just like don't recognize you, it's almost like, did any of it happen? Like, was any of it real? I mean, it's got to be so surreal, right? Yeah, so I mean, I know a lot of people can relate with that one, man. I mean, that's tough, man. That absolutely sucks that he wrote this song, and he just wasn't able to show it to him in time. So I mean, that's got to be tough. But I do like that he kind of wrote this because it kind of feels like a celebration a little bit, right? It's not an inherently sad song. It just got kind of sad lyrics a little bit, but it almost kind of feels like a little bit more of like a celebration in a way. Right, he says, you were one of those classic ones. I wish she knew you. You were one of those classic ones. Now everybody knows. And I think that's very touching from Tyler's side to kind of put this song out there and kind of just share the joy that his grandfather was, right? And at least through Tyler's eyes and how he saw the relationship with his grandfather, right? I also really like that line too, right? I mean, it's so simple and straightforward, but I feel like it is really impactful, right? So you're a legend in my own mind, my middle name, my goodbye. So obviously we talked a little bit earlier about middle name being named after his grandfather, right? But just like him being kind of perceived as a legend in his own mind, like someone he looked up to for a long time in his life, someone he respected, cared deeply for, and to kind of have this song as his goodbye, his way of kind of coping with that, it is really just a super relatable thing, I think. I like the trumpet in this. It really helps with that like celebratory feel.
Then the day that it happened, I recorded this last bit. I look forward to having a lunch with you again.
Alright, so that was Legend by 21 Pilots, the second to last track off the album. Real quick, kind of before I go into my whole spiel about the song as a whole, man, I kind of just wanted to touch on that last part, man. So, basically he says, on the day that his grandfather passed, he came back and literally recorded that last little line or two. And to me, like that is like, kind of just wraps the song up perfectly, in my opinion, just from like a song perspective, right? But also from a message, right? And like how relatable and real it is, right? And so his grandpa passed, and basically he just says that he looks forward to being able to, he says, have a lunch with you again, but basically, see him again. And it's Tyler's turn, so to speak, right? And I think that's kind of what we would all kind of feel or think on that kind of day, right? Just like kind of hope that we'd be able to see them again in some form of afterlife, right? But the song as a whole, man, I say I enjoyed, man. I mean, like I said, it is kind of a sad song when you break down the lyrics. Tyler's grandpa passing and stuff, and the cover of was their second studio album or something like that. And so the song, I mean, definitely is relatable and definitely a little sad, but I mean, there's definitely a certain uplifting and celebratory tone to it, kind of with that. I think it's a ukulele, they like to do the ukes, and that trumpet, and it's kind of an upbeat vibe to it as a whole, right? So definitely a hoping, and definitely a little sad, but definitely still, like looking on the bright side and still like celebrating life, which kind of makes me think of I forget what song it was earlier on this album that they kind of talked about that. There was a line about celebrating life. It might have been Smithereens, maybe Neon Gravestones. I can't quite remember. It was one of those ones in the middle. But nonetheless, man, so overall I think it was super relatable, and it was honestly a really beautiful song, right? I mean, because they do such a good job of just putting their like raw feelings and thoughts out there, right, in a way that kind of just makes sense, I feel like. So overall, man, I gotta say I enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys did as well. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that bell, know we're dropping the next one. And that's all I got for you guys for now. It's your boy Rock Soldier. Hope you have a great rest of your night, even better tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. All right, guys, peace.